this is Christina, and we are going to be making a banded hanging kitchen towel. It could actually be a bathroom towel, whatever kind of towel you want it to be. This is a really cute one that we've already made. It has the band here and a topper. Generally, I like to do a contrast between the band and the topper, or I'll sometimes do the same like I did for this one, and then it has just half a towel attached to it. It can hang on a towel bar or on your oven door. And what you need to make this is that we have a piece of fabric that is about 8 inches by 7.5. We have another one that is 7 by 15. And then we have a dish towel or a kitchen towel. And then one kitchen towel is going to be enough to make 2 of these. So you actually need 2 of the piece of the topper and 2 of the piece for the band. Now, we're going to start by taking your topper. It's 7.5 by 8. You're going to fold it to the center. So you're going to fold it to about the 4-inch mark. Fold those 2 raw edges in like that. And then you're going to fold them in again so that you're completely enclosing those raw edges, and you end up with 4 layers of material that make about a 2-inch by 7.5-inch band. Now, once you have folded those in, you're going to give it a good press so that you end up with a band like this. You can see my raw edges are on the inside. I've given it a press and I'm ready to top stitch it. So now I'm going to do the top stitching. I'm going to go all the way around with my top stitching. It is okay to leave that raw edge along the ends here because we're actually going to be enclosing that in a seam. So I'm going to do that top stitching all the way around and I'll be right back. Okay, I've done my top stitching all the way around. You can see it there. And now I'm ready to put my topper together. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to do right sides together. This is a woven fabric, so it doesn't really have a right or wrong side, but it would be right sides together. Your wrong sides would be facing out. I'm going to make a fold here. So that's a halfway point. So I've got, now it's folded. That's about 7.5 inches in. I've got that folded. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my band that I just created and I'm going to put it inside here, right up against that fold that I just made. So I'm putting it between the 2 pieces of fabric. I'm going to put my band right up against the fold. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to stitch along this side here. I'm going to stitch along this side here, and then I will do the other side, but I'm going to need to shift my band as I do that. All right, so I've got it down one side. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to match my band edge up to the edge of the topper. I'm going to need to shift this. You can see that it's a little bit, you want it to be a little bit wider because you want your towel to fit through there. So I'm going to shift it so you can feel that extra inside there. Again, I'm going to push it right up against that fold that I had made. And I want it to match up with the edges of the topper piece so that my band is aligning with that edge. I'm going to put a pin in there just to hold it in place because there's a little bit of tension because I've got that extra pieces of the band in there. All right, so I'm going to line up my seams here. I've got it lined up. I'm going to put another pin in just to hold it all in place. And then I'm going to stitch up this side just like I did the other side. I'm using about 1/4 inch seam allowance. All right, so I've got it stitched up that side as well. I'm going to take my pins out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it right side out, just like you would a pillow or, you know, anything else that you sew this way. And I'm going to push those corners out. The great thing about this particular project is you can then take and pull on your band and it's going to create a nice edge there. It's going to pull those corners out really nicely. So now I've got my topper that's done here and I've got my band ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a press and then I will top stitch all the way around. When I do the press, I'm going to take this raw edge and I'm going to fold it in about 1/4 of an inch, so that when I'm pressing, I'm actually going to be pressing that in as well, so that I have a folded edge there at the bottom. So I'm going to pause now while I go do that pressing. All right, I've done my pressing, and now I'm going to do my top stitching. So I'm going to do about 1/8 of an inch in, so right at the edge, all the way around. I'm going to go up to the top of my band. I'm going to need to pull up, I'm going to actually pull my band to the side. I'm going to the top of this topper piece and go all the way up to the top, about 1/8 of an inch from that edge. And then I'm going to continue holding my band out of the way while I get this top stitching in place. This just gives you a nice finish edge there. Gives a little more body. And pivot on my edge, bring it down. All right, and I've completed my top stitching. So now I am ready. I've still got my folded edge here, so I'm just waiting to put my towel in there. So now I've completed my topper and my band. So now I'm ready to prep my towel. With my towel, you can do it a couple of ways, but what you basically want to happen is that you want to fold it in such a way that it is about 6 inches across, so that it will fit inside the top of your, so that it will fit inside your topper. So I actually have printed directions that are available for this. And so what I'm doing is I'm just taking and I'm folding in so that I end up with a piece that is about 6 inches across. I really want these blue stripes to be showing. So I'm not going to fold it the way that I usually do, because I do really want those to be showing. So I'm just trying to figure out a good way to get those to show and meet my requirement of it being just the 6 inches. All right, so I think this is going to work. Yes. All right. A little bit wet. Look, okay. Still got some space. All right, so that will work there. And I'm going to pin this, and then I'm going to give it a press before I put this into the topper. But you just want it to fit 6 inches so that it will go inside the topper. All right, I'm going to pause while I finish this and give it a good press. Okay, I have my towel is all folded. It is 6 inches across now with those folds so that it will fit inside of my topper, and I'm just going to slide it inside there. My folded edge is going to create a finished edge across the top. I'm going to pin it so that everything stays in place. I'm just putting just a couple pins in there just to hold all those layers together. And now what I'm ready to do is I'm going to run a top stitch. I'm actually going to run 2 top stitches along here to hold my towel in place really well. I'm going to start with the first one right at the edge, so just about 1/8 of an inch from that edge. I'm going slowly so that I can make sure I'm capturing all the layers and taking my pins out as I go, because nobody wants to hit a pin with your needle. When I get to the end, you can either cut your thread or you can pivot and go back for that second seam of top stitching. That pin out. Go back with my second seam of top stitching. I'm doing it about 1/4 of an inch from that first one. When I get to the end, I do want to make sure that I have back stitched to hold that in place. I'm going to take out the rest of my pins. And now I have my cute kitchen towel ready to go. And the way that you would put this onto your oven is you're going to flip this over the towel bar and then just pull it down into place. Now, this is ready to go. So all ready to go to hang onto your oven handle or a towel bar or wherever you would like to use it. So cute little project, super quick. With every towel, you can actually make 2 of these because you're using half a towel. So great project. Thank you.